I think that the majority of people look at movies and they look at TV shows and they think of them as nothing more than simple forms of entertainment that can keep them occupied and entertained for an hour or two. I don't think most people really soak in the messages that are in a lot of these movies and TV shows. I don't think a lot of people fully understand that there are valuable lessons to be learned in movies. I don't think people fully realize that a lot of their core values, a lot of who they are, it was instilled in them through the TV shows and movies that they watched growing up. There's even a lot of movies out there that have valuable warnings about the future. Even Terminator. Terminator warned us about the dangers of AI well before people were even thinking about stuff like that. And now, here we are in today's day and age, we are getting very closer and closer to real life Terminator. Why? Because no one really soaked in the message. No one learned a valuable lesson from that movie, at least not the rich people who are developing AI and robots and what have you. And then you had movies like Jurassic Park. What did Jurassic Park teach us? That, yeah, dinosaurs are cool. Everyone likes dinosaurs, but we probably shouldn't bring them back. There's a reason why they're gone. Do you really want to coexist with dinosaurs? I think Jurassic Park answered that question for you. It showed you how, yeah, this is cool, yeah, this is cute, but this ain't really what you want. But unfortunately, the lesson that people should have been taught by Jurassic Park, the messages in Jurassic Park, a lot of people didn't get the message. A lot of people didn't get the warning. And here we are today. I know this is crazy, but we are getting one step further, one step closer to real life Jurassic Park. Because today it was announced that the first direwolves were recently born. The first direwolves to be born in over 10,000 years. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they just successfully brought back an animal that has been extinct for 10,000 years. Now, I can't remember the exact quote from Jurassic Park, but I remember them saying something like this. The scientists were so preoccupied worrying about if they could that they didn't think about if they should. So here we are today, the start of a new age, because once you let the genie out of the bottle, it doesn't go back in. So now today we are entering into a new age where now animals, creatures that have been extinct before me, before you, before our ancestors, creatures that have been extinct for thousands upon thousands of years are now being brought back. And there's something that's so interesting and cool about it. But it's like, at the end of the day, I've seen Jurassic Park. I've learned lessons from movies and TV shows, and even when you just think about it long enough, you kind of come to the conclusion that maybe this is not really a good thing. How will this affect the ecosystem? Where do you plan on putting these animals? There's so many questions. But like I said, once the genie is out of the bottle, once one person does it, it's a wrap. So today, it's direwolves. 10 years from now, it will be T-Rexes. Who knows where they will take this or what happens next. But let's go ahead and dive in here and find out a little bit more about what's going on, because this is some crazy stuff. Romulus and Remus are doing what puppies do: chasing, tussling, nipping, and nuzzling. But there's something very unpuppy-like about the snowy white 6-month-olds. Their size, for starters. At their young age, they already measure nearly 4 feet long, tip the scales at 80 pounds, and could grow to 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. Then there's their behavior. The angelic exuberance puppies exhibit in the presence of humans, trotting up for hugs, belly rubs, kisses, is completely absent. They keep their distance, retreating if a person approaches. Even one of the handlers who raised them from birth can only get so close before Romulus and Remus flinch and retreat. This is not domestic canine behavior. This is wild lupin behavior. The pups are wolves. Not only that, they're direwolves, which means they have cause to be lonely. The direwolf once roamed an American range that extended as far as south as Venezuela and as far north as Canada. But not a single one has been seen in over 10,000 years, when the species went extinct. Plenty of direwolf or wolf remains have been discovered across the Americas, however, and that presented an opportunity for a company named Colossal Biosciences. Let's stop right there. As I was just explaining, obviously I'm a big movie buff. And I'm talking about the lessons and stuff I've learned from movies. I'm also a comic book guy. And I've read enough comic books to know that if you have a company named something like Colossal Biosciences, that 9 times out of 10, it's going to turn out to be some type of supervillain project. Colossal Biosciences, and you're bringing back extinct animals from 10,000 years ago. What is going on here? And then when you really think about it, folks, if they're doing this, what else are they doing? Sure, they'll tell us, yeah, we brought back a wolf from 10,000 years ago. Oh, for real? What in the hell else are they doing? Let's get real here. You think they're just bringing back the dire wolf? You don't think there's any other weird things going on there? I can guarantee you there's weird things going on there. I mean, their freaking name is Colossal Biosciences. It's like freaking Oscorp from Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm halfway joking here, but I'm halfway serious. Because 9 times out of 10, when you come across a company like this one, there's some weird stuff going on. And if they're bringing back animals from 10,000 years ago, best believe there's some weird stuff going on. But let's go further. Relying on deft genetic engineering and ancient preserved DNA, colossal scientists deciphered the wolf or the dire wolf genome. They rewrote the genetic code of the common gray wolf to match it, and using domestic dogs as surrogate mothers, they brought Romulus and Remus and their sister, 2-month-old Calissi, into the world during 3 separate births this fall and this winter, effectively, for the last time, de-extincting a line of beast, or for the first time, de-extincting a line of beast whose live gene pool long ago vanished. Time met the males at a fenced-in field at a wildlife facility on March 24th on the condition that their location remain a top secret. The dire wolf is not the only animal that Colossal, which was founded in 2021 and currently employs 130 scientists, wants to bring back. Also, on their de-extinction wish list is the woolly mammoth, the dodo, and the Tasmanian tiger. Already in March, the company surprised the science community with the news that it had copied mammoth DNA to create a woolly mouse, a chimeric critter with the long golden coat and the accelerated fat metabolism of the mammoth. You know, see? I told you. I know that they got to be doing something weird there. They created the freaking woolly mouse. Mouse. Talking about woolly mouth. The woolly mouse. What in the hell is a woolly mouse? Well, it's half mouse, half woolly mammoth. So how long before we have woolly humans? I guarantee you, if they're messing around with animal DNA and all of that stuff, they're messing around with the humans as well. And I think there's a strategy here that most people are going to overlook. Because this company already straight up said, hey, we want to bring back, we want to bring back the Tasmanian tiger and freaking woolly mammoths and all types of stuff. The reason they came out with the dire wolf first is because everyone's going to see this. They're going to see the cute little puppies and they're going to be like, oh man, it's so cute. Look at the dire wolves. Oh my God. And then next thing you know, 6 months from now, it's going to be raptors. Look at these cute dire wolves. Shouldn't you allow our company to do stuff like this? And you're like looking at the dire wolves like, oh my God, they're so cute. Yeah, I guess I don't have a problem with this. Next thing you know, it's the freaking woolly T-Rex. T-Rex arms, woolly mammoth hair, woolly mammoth tusks. You got to be careful with this type of stuff. I am telling you right now, I do not think it ends well. Now, I'm not saying that the dire wolf is the end of the world. Obviously, it's not. But it's a slippery slope. And once the genie is out of the bottle, it's out of the bottle for good. And it's already out of the bottle for good. It's too late. If you think it's going to stop with dire wolves, I can tell you that it's not. So the question is, where do we go from here? Are you bringing back all of these extinct animals? Where are you going to put them? Are you bringing back extinct animals just to throw them into a zoo where they live a meaningless existence just for us to go stare at them as they're depressed in their enclosures? Or are you bringing these animals back planning to introduce them into the wild? Who in the hell knows what would happen then? They just said, just in case you didn't hear, that these freaking wolves grow to 6 feet tall. A 6-foot freaking dire wolf. Do you want to deal with a 6-foot wolf? No. So what's the real plan here? And look, these scientists, they'll act like they have everything planned out. They act like they know everything. But a lot of science is just BS. A lot of science is just people who pretend to know what they're talking about. They say things in a smart way, so people who don't know what's going on will just go along with it. Most science does not deal in facts. It doesn't deal with facts. Most science is just well-educated guesses. So you may think this may happen or that may happen if you introduce the dire wolf back into wildlife, but you don't know that for sure. No one is a real dire wolf expert because they've been extinct for 10,000 years. You could be the most sciencey scientist of all. It doesn't mean you know a diddly squat about an animal that's been extinct for 10,000 years. You can think you know. You might have a hypothesis. You might have a well-educated guess, but you don't know for sure. Just like most of science. Most of science is just a bunch of well-educated guesses or just a bunch of hogwash, people pretending to know what they're talking about. So, I definitely have questions about this. I already know for a fact that you started with the dire wolf to make people take their guards down about what's going on here. And then you can have the debate about how, this is kind of ungodly. It's unnatural to unnaturally just bring about creatures who have been extinct for thousands of years. There's something ungodly about it, right? And I'm not even saying that from a very religious standpoint. We all can understand, regardless of what God you believe in, or even if you don't believe in God, we all understand that creatures kind of naturally got here. And when you're doing genetic DNA modification from freaking fossils and all of this other stuff, it's like you're playing the role of God. You're trying to be God yourself. You're trying to create an unnatural life yourself. So I think there's a moral debate to be had here about all of this as well. Not just what will direwolves do to us? Or where will this go? There's a moral debate here as well. So I know it's kind of cool this is happening, but at the same time, it's not cool. Reminder, Jurassic Park was so cool at the beginning of the movie. It was not cool at the ending. Okay, so we're at the beginning of the movie when everything is cute, cool, and cuddly. And then 100 years from now, there's going to be, AI mechanically enhanced direwolves hunting us down for the police. It's a slippery slope. I am telling you, folks, a very slippery slope. So if we send a message that it's okay to unnaturally bring about, these kind of lives into the world, we're getting closer and closer to unnaturally bringing human life into the world. And, we all know it's already happening. But one thing, I'll end with this. When you see the advancements in science and what they're capable of these days, it really makes you question. It really makes you wonder. Because you want me to believe that y'all are capable of bringing back an animal that was extinct for 10,000 years. Y'all are capable of that, but you can't cure cancer. You can't cure these deadly diseases, but you can bring back animals from 10,000 years ago. Right? Think about it. Now, obviously, we know they can cure all of these diseases. They pretend they can't, but come on. How long can you flaunt these? How long can we go of you flaunting all of these accomplishments in science and technology while still telling us that you can't battle things like cancer? Oh, we'd have no cure. We don't know what to do with that. But hey, do you want a velociraptor? We can do that. We can't help you with the cancer, but you want a velociraptor? We got you. We got you. No problem. No problem. You want a pet dinosaur? Oh, you want a saber-toothed tiger? Woolly mammoth? We got you. Can't help you with the cancer. I think it's kind of getting to that point now where we all got to know it's BS, right? We all got to know it's BS. But even if they can't, let's say they can't cure these diseases. Shouldn't we be spending that money and putting that effort into doing that? I just feel like there's bigger problems to tackle. There's priorities in life, right? And I feel like we should tackle our priorities before we start bringing back animals that have been extinct. But hey, what do I know? Very weird world that we're living in. But for now, you guys let me know what you think of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.